It's not about what you did yesterday. It's about what the system decided you're going to do tomorrow. Imagine you're standing in front of an automatic door. It doesn't open. There is no guard, no siren, no explanation. The sensor just read your heart rate, cross-referenced it with your last search query, and decided your instability level is too high for the room you're trying to enter. You haven't committed a crime. You've just become a statistical risk. This isn't a scene from a movie. It's not about the year 2050. It's about systems you are already using today. You just haven't realized the price yet. The only difference between today and the future is that today we still call it convenience. Look at how fast you stop typing passwords. First it was your thumb, then your face. Now you just look at a lens or hover your palm over an infrared sensor. Companies like Amazon call this frictionless. But here is where things shift. When your body becomes your ID, the system isn't just checking who you are. It's measuring how you are. Think about it. You are the key, but you are also the lock. Amazon One palm scanning terminals are already in hundreds of stores. It looks like magic. In reality, it's capture infrastructure. That data doesn't stay in your hand. It's indexed, processed, and tracked. The point isn't the coffee you just bought. The point is that to function in society, you now have to emit a constant signal. If the sensor doesn't read you, you don't consume. If you don't consume, you don't move. We took the bait of convenience to turn our biology into a mandatory toll. But what happens when the gatekeepers want more than your name? Recent patents for wearables already show the ability to monitor heart rate variability in real time to optimize user experience. That's the marketing. The reality? The subway turnstile or your office door knows if you didn't sleep well. It knows if you're anxious. It knows if your blood pressure spiked while reading a specific headline. Access is no longer a fixed right. It's a variable permission. The problem begins here. The system creates a profile of your biometric normalcy. If on a Tuesday your body emits signals of stress that deviate from your pattern, a store's security algorithm might flag you as a loss prevention risk. The security guard doesn't know why his tablet buzzed. He just starts following you. You haven't done anything, but your biology just betrayed you as an anomaly. The cost of the speed you accepted is the surrender of your last defense, the invisibility of your own organs. We accepted this in our phones, then at the airport, now at the grocery store. Soon there will be no opt-out. In a world of absolute efficiency, trying to hide is, by definition, suspicious. The system doesn't need handcuffs. It just controls the voltage of your social existence through a sensor you helped install. Walking through a city today feels like an act of freedom, but the architecture around you has changed its job. Security cameras are no longer passive eyes recording crimes for humans to watch later. They are engines of intent. Computer vision has evolved into gait analysis and eye tracking. The system doesn't care where you're going. It wants to know why you're taking that specific path. Stop for 10 seconds too long in front of a government building. The algorithm doesn't see a pedestrian. It sees a pattern of hesitation. Tech giants are already using micro-expression analysis to measure how people react to ads in real time. The next step is order maintenance. If your face shows a mix of anger and contempt while looking at a political billboard, you just generated a data point for potential dissent. Privacy didn't die, it was sold. This is already active in smart cities where street lighting intensifies in areas where the system detects erratic behavior. Gait analysis, the way you walk, is as unique as a fingerprint. It can identify you from hundreds of feet away, even if your face is covered. Public space is no longer a meeting point. It's a laboratory of conformity. If you walk too fast, you're a threat. If you walk too slow, you're a suspect. The only safe speed is a linear, productive path. This is where choice disappears. When every movement of your eyeball is a metric of interest or threat, you lose the right to be distracted. The gaze is a signal. Your curiosity is a vulnerability. You start to police yourself. You adjust your posture and your face, not because a cop is watching, but because the air around you is made of math. Math that is trying to decode your next move. The proof is in the data fusion of urban movement and digital profiles. If you search for protest, and your GPS shows you near a demonstration, the system doesn't wait for the first shout. It has already classified your presence as a statistical increase in the probability of conflict. Total surveillance doesn't punish crime. It makes crime impossible by suffocating any behavior that isn't average. Until now, control depended on watching what you do. The next stage goes to the source, your neural activity. Brain-computer interfaces and non-invasive neural sensors are leaving the lab and entering the market. They sell it as tech telepathy. Control your devices with your mind. But if you can use your mind to control a machine, the machine can use your signals to map your mind. Affective computing is the technical name for this. It's systems that identify your cognitive and emotional states through brainwaves. Imagine your boss requires a productivity headset that monitors focus. If your attention drops, the system sends a nudge. But it also collects your frustration levels, your resistance to orders, your true interest in the task. Your mind, the last refuge of absolute freedom, is now a mineable territory. Obedience is no longer a behavior. It's a biological requirement. If the system detects a trend toward aggression or instability in your neural patterns, it can demand an intervention. Control becomes preventive and internal. You aren't punished for saying something forbidden. You're flagged for having the neural pattern of someone who would think it. Your internal state is now a regulated data point. Notice how this is sold. It's not a leash. It's a self-knowledge tool. Understand your stress peaks, the ad says. But whoever owns the server owns the map to your vulnerabilities. If an algorithm knows what makes you anxious and what calms you down, it has the remote control to your decisions. Free will dissolves into a series of stimuli and responses the system has mastered. This is already happening in high-performance work environments. The cost is the end of cognitive privacy. If your thoughts aren't yours, what is left of you? You become a biological terminal of a larger network that demands stability. Any sign of mental turbulence is a system error that needs to be corrected. The freedom to feel anger, sadness, or resistance is replaced by a state of monitored, induced conformity. Your mind is no longer a sanctuary, it's a billboard. All this data, your heart rate, your walk, your brain waves, feeds one engine, the social risk score. It's not about what you owe the bank, it's about what you represent to the system's stability. Pre-crime. AI is already a reality for police departments trying to predict hotspots. By 2050, it's applied to people, not neighborhoods. Every individual carries a dynamic, real-time reliability index. This score decides who travels, who gets credit, who gets priority at the hospital. But the rules are a black box. You don't know why your score dropped 5 points today. Maybe it was the tone of voice you used with a virtual assistant. Maybe it's because you digitally associated with someone who is a level 2 risk. The system punishes by association and probability. Justice is no longer blind. It's predictive. If your consumption pattern matches people who eventually default on loans, you are treated as a debtor before you spend a cent. The technology acts as an invisible, omnipresent judge. Data fusion combines your health, your money, and your friends into a digital twin. This avatar is put through constant stress tests. If food prices rise 20%, how does this person react? If your digital twin shows a tendency to protest, the real system limits your access today to prevent the problem of tomorrow. You are isolated for a crime your simulation committed. This is the shift. Punishment isn't a prison cell. It's a wall of system errors. Your card is declined. The Uber app can't find a driver. Your messages take longer to send. The system doesn't need to lock you up. It just makes your functional life impossible until you return to the correct behavior. It's a faceless dictatorship where the executioner is a line of code. How do you fight an algorithm that claims, with 99% accuracy, that you are a social risk? There is no physical evidence to refute. The crime is in the future. The cost is a life based on a simulation. You live to please your digital twin. You make sure he looks like a model citizen, just so you can have the right to exist. The future isn't about what you do. It's about the fear of what the system thinks you are capable of. You are being replaced by a ghost. This ghost has more power than you. It has a better memory than you. And it decides your future before you even live it. We call it a digital twin. Technically, It's a high-fidelity simulation of an object or a person. Engineers used them for decades to test jet engines. They wanted to see when a turbine would fail without actually crashing a plane. Now they are doing it to you. NVIDIA and major biotech firms are already building the infrastructure for personalized digital humans. But this isn't about better healthcare. It's about predictive control. Think about your insurance company. They don't need to wait for you to get sick anymore. They take your current data, your sleep patterns, your grocery list, your stress levels from your watch, and they feed it into your digital twin. Then, they run the simulation 10,000 times. In 8,000 of those scenarios, you develop a heart condition by age 50, so they raise your premium today. You aren't being charged for a disease you have. You are being charged for a disease your ghost might get. The simulation has become the reality, and here is the rupture. The system doesn't care about who you are. It only cares about what you are likely to do. If you lose your job, how do you react? Do you look for work, or do you become unstable? The system runs the if-then scenario on your avatar. If your digital twin shows a tendency toward dissent or depression, your credit limit drops instantly. The bank isn't reacting to your bank account. It's reacting to your potential. You are being punished for a crime your simulation committed in a server farm. This is the end of human agency. We used to believe we could change. We could reinvent ourselves. We could beat the odds. But you can't beat the math. When your digital twin becomes the primary source of truth for recruiters, banks, and governments, your real self becomes a nuisance. You are just the biological shell carrying the data for the real you, the one the system actually trusts. It's a digital execution. They don't kill the man. They just kill his opportunities until the man fits the model. The problem isn't that the simulation is wrong. The problem is that the simulation is the only thing that matters. You start to police yourself. You eat what the twin should eat. You say what the twin should say. You spend your life trying to please a ghost, because if the ghost fails the test, you pay the price. Your twin is your Carrasco, and he never sleeps. Isolation used to be a physical room. Now it's a software error. Have you noticed how hard it is to exist without a digital footprint? Try renting an apartment or getting a phone without a verified ID. It's becoming impossible. This is the data fusion stage. Right now, your data is in pieces. Your hospital has your health records. Your bank has your money. Your phone has your location. But the walls are coming down. Governments and tech giants are merging these silos into a single, seamless mesh. Palantir and similar intelligence firms already specialize in this. They connect the dots that you thought were separate. Separated, your data is a whisper. Integrated, it's a confession. Imagine you are at a protest, or maybe you're just in the same area as a protest. In the old world, you were just a face in a crowd. In the mesh, your phone's ID, your heart rate from your watch, and the facial recognition camera on the corner are all talking to each other in real time. The system doesn't need to arrest you. It just marks you as high friction. The next morning, your rideshare app can't find a driver. Your digital wallet needs a security update that takes 3 days to process. You aren't in prison. You are just disconnected. This is systemic invisibility. The system doesn't fight you. It just stops recognizing you as a valid user. Think about that. If the mesh decides you are a risk, it doesn't send a cop to your door. It just turns off the world. The smart lock on your flexible housing unit stops working. The grocery store kiosk won't accept your biometrics. You are standing in the middle of a city, but you are functionally dead. This isn't theory. Look at the expansion of digital ID programs globally. They are sold as inclusive, but inclusion is a double-edged sword. To be included is to be indexed. To be indexed is to be controlled. The mesh has no gaps. If you try to step out, if you try to live analog, you become a ghost, and the system treats ghosts as malfunctions. We accepted this mesh because we wanted seamless lives. We wanted the lights to turn on when we walked in. We wanted the payment to happen by just waving a hand. But the price of a seamless life is a life without an exit. The mesh is the ultimate cage. It's made of signals, not steel, and you helped build it every time you clicked, "I agree." Freedom didn't end with a bang. It ended with a loading screen that never finished. Conformity is the only currency left. We are entering the era of the glass sentence. Your life is a transparent display, and everyone, especially the algorithm, is judging your score. This is the social credit stage. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you know. Social contagion is a real metric in risk analysis. If your best friend is a risk, you are a risk. Think about that. If your brother stops paying his bills or starts posting unstable content, your own interest rate could go up. The system punishes the network to force the individual to comply. It's a digital version of ancient collective punishment. You become your own policeman. You stop talking to the unreliable people because they are too expensive to keep. You edit your personality until it's a smooth, gray stone that the algorithm can easily categorize. Is this the future you wanted? Probably not, but it's the one we are choosing every day. The system doesn't want your suffering. It wants your predictability. A predictable human is a profitable human. An unpredictable human is a threat to the equilibrium. This is the death of the individual. We are being turned into biological sensors in a massive global hive mind that prioritizes stability above all else. The glass sentence is final because it is invisible. We don't see the bars. We only see the options the system gives us. But what if the most important option is missing? What if you can no longer say no? Before you sleep tonight, look at your phone. Ask yourself, how many of your decisions today were actually yours? And how many were just the path of least resistance designed for you by a machine? The system doesn't begin with a dictator. The system begins where you accept the convenience of being managed. The question isn't whether this will happen. The question is, when did you decide that your freedom was too much work? Maybe the future isn't about technology. Maybe it's about who still has the right to be a mistake. In a world of perfect math, being human is the ultimate error, and errors are always deleted.